y'all, I'm Alisa.
And I'm Samantha.
And welcome to Watch for Deer. For 3 weeks in a dang row. Look at you girls go.
Saturday, hold on, let's talk about what you did. Saturday, Alisa comes over.
Did.
She brings her husband Clinton.
I did.
And our friends Jess and Greg come over.
Hey y'all.
Hey guys, hey Jess, I love you. Anyways, and she's like my soul sister. And she keeps rocks in her pockets, and I cannot tell you what I say to her when she does it. Any meme I find with a rock, I send it to her now. I love her so much. It's hilarious.
She's good people.
She's like the best friend you had, and you just now met her.
Yeah, it's like you don't even realize like you were missing that piece of your life.
Right.
Until you find it, and you're like, where have you been all my
Where
life?
has she been all of our lives?
Where have you been all of? Like,
well,
where?
now she's here.
And now she's here. So, hey guys.
Anyways, and you all come over.
We did.
And we built a humongous fire outside.
We did.
And we sat around it and we sang and I rapped, shoop, and just the most fun. Then the next morning I get up and I'm working outside like I always do, gardening, doing some yard work and stuff on Sunday.
Yep.
Go and Scott comes in and and it's Mother's Day. And so I come in, get in the shower and stuff and get ready to go to lunch. The family's going to take me to lunch, and then I'm going up to his mom and my mom's. And so happy belated Mother's Day.
Yes, we hope you had a fabulous one.
And Scott comes in with this little troll looking thing. It's like a troll, but it's like a mushroom.
It's a mushroom.
It's a mushroom,
like
but it's like
Mario.
Like toadstool.
Yes.
But it has a penis drawn on it. It's drawn on it, like with a marker.
With a Sharpie.
And it's sitting on top of the refrigerator, and I was like, what? Or Scott brings it up here. He goes, look what I just found. I was like, what? And it was from Greg. And it was like, you all good people. Greg. That's what I said about Greg. And I was like, well, that's
strange.
Awesome. So we go to Mother's Day. We come home. We're filling up the bird feeder. And there's another one on the bird feeder. And this one has hairy armpits. And a little something downstairs. And I was
Let's just say the armpits match the carpet.
And Scott comes upstairs, brings another one up there. That one was from you.
Yeah.
And it said Alisa. What did you write on yours? I don't remember.
Sam's a hoe.
Yeah, she wrote Sam's a hoe. Wrote Alisa on it. And I was like, what the crap? And Scott sent a picture in the group of these, and he was laughing. And you said there may be more. And when I tell you the hunt was on, we had the most fun. You would have thought we were 2 kids. I went, Scott, it's a treasure hunt. And we just took off running. Then I found Jess's, and I think she wrote, I love you, Sam, or something like that. And I cannot tell you what Clinton wrote on his.
Yeah.
But when we found them, and then I took a picture holding them, it was so much fun. And it reminded me of something that I used to do with one of my friends. So we would go over to her house on Saturday, sometimes Saturday evening, and she would always clean on Sunday. And one time I told her, I left and I said, listen to me, when you clean, I want you to know that I hid $21 bills in this house. So when you clean, you're going to find your money and that'll buy your lunch for tomorrow. And that tickled her to death. And so you should do stuff like that.
That's pretty cool.
That was cool. And I was like, that'll buy your lunch, or go get you a pizza or something after you clean. You don't have to cook anything.
Yeah.
And it was $20. I don't know how much you paid for those toadstools, but it was so.
Jess stopped at DG. She was like, oh my gosh.
So much fun. We had the best time.
It was.
They're hidden now because they have correct anatomy and they should not. But it was so much fun. So do that with your friends. Like when you're hanging out, take something, hide something somewhere for them to find. If they have little kids, do not draw the correct anatomy on it.
Yeah.
It was good. So much fun.
That was all Jess's idea. She showed up at our house and she started pulling these out, and she was like,
great idea.
We are going to, when it gets dark, she was like, we're all going to sit on the bottom of them. We're all going to take one slip and hide it.
It was so much fun.
It really was.
And not one time did I leave you all. So did you do it while you all were going to the bathroom?
Maybe.
Because at one point, I have the side door here, and you walked around. I was like, why would Alisa walk around to go to the bathroom? I did think that, but it's because you were going to my bird feeder. And I am glad I found that one, because it is an inappropriate toadstool in my bird feeder.
Right by her front porch.
Right by my front porch and the driveway for
everybody to see.
Everybody to see.
Everybody. I will belie you with my privates.
That's a different story. I'll tell you what that means later. Anyways.
It was a good one.
That was a good one. I have a story for you today.
I'm excited.
And I've been really excited about doing this.
I know you have.
And I have 3 stories for you today, Alisa.
Okay, I'm ready.
We are going to play ba-da-da, ba-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da-da, 2 truths and a lie.
Ooh, okay.
So I have 3 stories for you today, and I also have hidden an Easter egg in the story. Actually, 2 Easter eggs in this story.
Okay.
And I will see if you can figure out what the Easter eggs are at the end of it.
I feel like I need pen and paper.
Okay. These stories, 2 of them are completely true.
Okay.
One of them is some truth, big lie.
Okay.
And you have to figure out at the end which one it is. And I want the listeners to also.
Okay.
Which story is a lie. And then at the very end of it, I will tell you the 2 Easter eggs.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Are we ready?
Ready.
Our first story.
Okay, here we go. All right, guys, buckle in.
Are you ready?
Get your notepads.
Here's our first story. Okay?
I'm going to try to do this out of memory.
Story 1.
Okay.
Okay. And also, I have this paper, and I didn't put the font very big, so it may be trouble for me.
Her can't read it.
Yeah. Her may not be able to read real good.
Her can't see.
Okay, there's nothing on the back, so, okay. When I ask you about the nicest restaurant in Huntington to eat, Alisa, where's it at?
The nicest that I've ate or just in general?
In general, because I don't know if you've eaten there or not.
I've probably never ate there. I would say it would be... I hear people talk about the 21.
Yes.
Okay.
At the Frederick?
Yeah, I hear people talk about that all
You've
the
not
time.
eat there?
No.
Ma'am.
I have not.
Chef's kiss. It is superb. Their lemon drop martini.
Ooh.
Anyways.
Okay.
The Frederick Hotel was constructed in between 1905 and 1906. It was constructed for $400,000.
That's it?
In 1905 or 1906.
Okay.
If you were to rebuild the Frederick today, it would cost you more than $14 million.
Okay, that makes sense.
Now, that being said, I actually don't even believe that. I did the calculator and stuff in Google.
Yeah.
I don't believe that that's true. I don't see how you could rebuild that building for that, but that's what Google said. No. So we're going to go with that.
Because Google always
I actually put in here, I did a conversion online, but I think it would be way more than that.
Right.
The owners also filled it with $100,000 of furniture from Chicago. It was built with 125 rooms, and 45 of those rooms had their own bathroom.
Ooh,
At the time, it was considered one of the best hotels, if not the best hotel, in between Cincinnati and Pittsburgh. Okay. Today, it's not used as a hotel anymore. It's apartments and residential businesses. It is still a magnificent building, though. It's still, when you walk in there, I've been to a wedding there, and I'm telling you, walk in, and it is... Wow.
I'm a big history buff.
Wow.
I don't think I've ever been in the Frederick.
Oh, I went to a wedding there.
Ever been in there. But I love like old history and old architecture.
The wedding was beautiful. It was a lawyer. I don't remember who it was. It was somebody Scott worked with. It was like 15 years ago. But and I went with Scotty. I didn't know him, but just it was gorgeous. And when you walk in to get into the 21 Club, Alisa, the food is magnificent. But now that being said, you're going to drop a few $100 to eat there.
Wow.
So it's more of a, a lot of people go all the time because they have a lot of money.
You probably times that by 2 because we ate at Olive Garden Sunday and it was $100.
Scott and I ate at Olive Garden, and I've not eaten there since. It was him and I. And I'm not doing it again because, first of all, and I'm sorry, Olive Garden, come at your girl.
I love Olive Garden.
No, I don't.
But let me tell you, I loved it. And we went there for Mother's Day because IHOP was entirely too busy. And when we got the bill, it was $97 for noodles and sauce.
No, I'm not doing it. I'm just not. No. Their wine ain't that good.
No.
Anywho. The building is named after George Frederick Miller, the man who financially supported the project. It hosted many celebrities in its heyday: Bob Hope, Liberace, and Richard Nixon. Many celebrities stayed in the hotel when they were performing at the Keith Albee. It is said that there is a secret underground tunnel that connects the two, but I could not find actual proof of that. When the Frederick opened, it was expensive to stay there. It cost anywhere between $2.50 and $4 a night.
Shut your mouth. It's $4 a night. That is highway robbery.
Now, this is still the same story, okay? Have you ever heard of the Matewan Massacre or the Battle of Matewan?
I have.
Okay. It's when the coal miners tried to unionize for better conditions, and the Baldwin Felts Detective Agency came in and evicted the miners and their families from their homes.
Because I'm going to interrupt you 1 minute. If I remember correctly, back in coal mining days, when you worked at a coal mining, place like this, we're from, all these coal mining towns.
Yeah.
They actually had you rented their homes or their places. You shopped at their stores. And they owned everything. They owned you. They owned the bank, when to cash your check and everything.
Yeah, so you were working for them, and then you were taking your check and paying
giving it right back to them.
Yeah. And it was, besides that, dangerous conditions. It's still dangerous. Right. It was so dangerous.
It wasn't regulated.
But anyways, so Baldwin Felts, hold on, where was I at? I should have made this bigger font. I know. Baldwin Felts Detective Agency came in to evict the miners and their families from their homes. The detectives from Baldwin Felts were the Felt brothers that the name of the detective agency derived from. The sheriff of the town, Sid Hatfield, showed up at the train station and pretended like he had an arrest warrant for the two brothers because the brothers evicted the miners illegally.
Okay.
The Felt brothers then, in turn, acted like they had an arrest warrant for Sheriff Hatfield. Mm-hmm. The Felt brothers didn't know it, but while they were arguing, they were being surrounded by miners. They were in the doorways, on the roofs, in the buildings.
Yeah.
In the alleys. They were being surrounded.
Bloodbath.
Anyway, accounts differentiate on who shot first, but when this was over, there were 10 people dead, including the Felt brothers. Included in the deaths that day was the mayor, Cabell Testerman. And now you are probably asking yourself, what in the crud does this have to do with the Frederick Hotel, Samantha? What are you doing? Well, ma'am, I'm going to tell you right now.
You're on opposite ends of the county at this point.
Oh, just wait. 11 days after the shootout with old Sheriff Sid, he got married to this pretty little thing named Jessie Lee Maynard. And guess where they got married at?
At the Frederick.
They got married at the Frederick, sweetheart. Now, I'm sure you're saying, big deal. Plenty of people have got married at the Frederick. You just told me, Samantha Lee, that you went to a wedding at the Frederick.
Yep.
And I did. I did go to the wedding at the Frederick.
Are you sure?
But I didn't go to a wedding because hold on, what I write here? But not like this wedding, because Jessie Lee Maynard had only been a widow for 11 days. Her dead husband was Mayor Campbell Testerman, and that night on their honeymoon, he was arrested at the Frederick for an indecent relationship. But sweet little Jessie said the mayor knew the dangers of taking on the detectives and wanted to stand alongside his Union brothers in the fight. She said that Testerman wanted to take her taken care of and asked Sid if he would take care of his wife, and he said that he would. But now all those miners that were there and everything, they backed it up. But apparently there were some other detective there, not only with the Felt brothers, but they were with the Felt brothers thing, that said that they watched Sid shoot him right in the face.
Oh my gosh.
The mayor was dead. Sid Hatfield married Jessie. He was arrested in the Frederick.
Huh.
There's your first story.
Okay.
Is that true or a lie, Lisa?
Okay. All right.
Are you ready?
All right.
I'm really having trouble seeing this. Are you okay?
I'm ready.
Okay. This word, I'm not for sure what it is.
Oh, I can't wait to grill you over it.
I think I'm going to pronounce it right. I'm just not 100% sure what it is. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Guys, do you all think that was true or a lie? Or was there any Easter eggs in it? All right.
I think I've got an Easter egg picked out.
Are we ready?
Uh-huh.
The Keith Albee Orpheum was considered at one time to be the second biggest theater in the United States.
Okay.
Opening its door to the public in 1928, it has had almost 100 years of stories to tell. It cost almost $2 million to build in 1928. Wow. Today, that's about $35 million. Gosh. The Herald Dispatch called it the Temple of Amusement. It was the height of sophistication for Huntington and was well loved by people all over the eastern part of the United States. The Keith Albee is not only one to exist. The Keith Albee is not the only one to exist, even though we may feel like it is here. There is a Keith Albee in Washington, D.C., and there's one in Flushing, Queens, New York today. However, in the 1920s, the company owned 170 theaters, and more than 15,000 vaudeville performers made some kind of living by taking part in whatever was needed done, entertaining, music, set designs, whatever, because it was live entertainment.
Yeah.
Now, those 700 theaters weren't all called Keith Albees, but they owned this Keith Albee Orpheum was under the same umbrella.
I got you.
Our Keith Albee has had entertainers visit its exquisite facilities for years. You may have heard of Matthew McConaughey, Dustin Hoffman, Matthew Fox, Jay Leno, just to name a few. Famous people have always visited the Keith Albee. Back in the 20s and 30s, when it was a magnet for socialites, famous silent film actors and vaudeville moguls were always there. I'm not being a smart aleck. Do you know what a vaudeville person is? Yeah, they were like actresses and actresses back then, but they traveled. But it wasn't just actresses and actors. It was entertainment
circus, so but not a circus.
Right, it wasn't a circus, but like entertainment, music. It was magicians, stuff like that. And actresses and actresses, people who, read, that's what they did. So, anyways, it was a magnet for socialites, famous silent film actors, and vaudeville moguls were always there. It was the place to be at not only in Huntington, but for miles and miles and miles. Go live it up at the Keith Albee and walk right across the street and stay at the ritzy Frederick Hotel. Some very famous vaudeville entertainers were Charlie Chaplin and Fred Astaire. They were more than that, but that's the two that I picked because their names. They're the most one. They were vaudeville actors. They eventually stopped the traveling circuit of entertainers once television took off and became two of the biggest names in the world. Some vaudeville entertainers didn't make it big in TV, and once the vaudeville era was over in the late 30s, they were never really heard of again. One of the vaudeville actors that was a regular at the Keith Albee was a man named Chad W. Forder. He did the tour of the Keith Albee theaters up and down the East Coast. That was his job.
Okay.
At the time, there were more than 100 theaters, Keith Albee theaters.
Right.
In 1928, Forder met and fell in love with Sophie L. Fluth. Sophie and Chad were quickly married. Some say it was a shotgun wedding, but others say they just couldn't stand to be apart. We know about
we know what that means.
Around 1930 or 31, I couldn't find an exact date, the vaudeville scene started slowing down a bit. All the vaudeville actors could see what was going to happen to the future. It was TV. It was silent films.
Once again, technology kills.
Not TV, but it was silent film.
Yeah.
I say TV because I think like TV, but it wasn't. It was silent films. Nobody had TVs yet.
Right.
Just work with me here.
Yeah.
Most just didn't want to admit that's what, most of the vaudeville actors, they didn't want to admit that that's what was happening. These silent films,
nobody wanted to see it in person.
People weren't coming to. And I don't know if I put it in here or not. If I don't say it, remind me about the Keith Albee putting in projection screens, but I think I put it in here. Chad and Sophie wanted to help the vaudeville scene in a big way. They wanted to prove to people that live performances... Nope, hold on. They wanted to prove that live performances... There we go.
We old school. We use paper.
Yeah. Were much more entertaining than the projection screens with the silent...
For sure.
With the silent actors. When he would go to the show, he would go to a show... Well, hold on. When he would go to the show, producers would tell them that he had ideas for making live performances bigger and better, and the head guys would sort of laugh, tell him that vaudeville is dying, and they should just do their jobs until the contracts were up, and then look for a job for silent films.
Yeah.
Because the Keith Albee theaters were changing over to projection screens. I couldn't find what it was called. I just said projection screens. It was called something else, and I don't know what it was. But I did see that the Keith Albee has I think it was 4 rooms. They kept one for entertainment, which is the one that we go to, like when you go to Keith Albee. And then we would go watch movies there. I don't know if you went or not.
I did. I can remember watching movies there.
Okay. So when you'd remember that when they changed that, those big screens there weren't like that. They were projection screens, but those are the rooms that they changed in the 30s to hold the silent films.
Okay.
Which is pretty cool if you ask me.
Yep.
He was told that each Keith Albee theater would keep one stage for live entertainment, but the other stages would be adorned with chairs and a pull-down projection screen. This infuriated Chad and Sophie. They were going to lose everything, and they didn't even have a house to fall back on. They lived in hotels since they traveled all the time.
Right, because they're all the time traveling.
Due to some serious flooding in Huntington, the shows that were going to happen one day, they were canceled. All the shows were moved to the Columbus Keith Albee for the next day. Chad and Sophie showed up like they always had. When eyewitnesses were later questioned about what happened, they all pretty much told the exact same story. I have one newspaper clipping that I will send to you.
Okay.
So you can put on there.
Okay.
I have one newspaper clipping that we will post on Watch for Deer with their picture in it and the story of what happened. The Columbus Chronicle said that Chad was on stage and Sophie was in the audience. He did his act like normal. He was a magician. At the end of it, he wanted to do something special since it was going to be the last time that he'd be on stage, and Silent Pictures really just taken over.
Yeah.
They were done.
One last hoorah.
He called Sophie to join him on stage. She went and she was smiling from ear to ear. She was tickled to death. She seemed so happy, the people said. He said that the silent films were a huge mistake on the industry's part.
Yeah.
That you could not hear anything during the films, and you could not see the magnificent colors like you could with live shows.
Right.
That everything was black and white, and they were making a mistake.
It's a whole vibe.
It was a whole vibe.
A whole vibe.
Chad then pulled out a revolver, yelled, "For my final performance," shot Sophie in the chest as she was trying to pull away, and then he shot himself.
Oh my gosh.
Keith Albee Industries quickly covered it up, and only 2 stories were ever written about the incident. I found one, and it said, imagine if that happened today. Like, could you imagine if that happened today? It'd be all over the internet.
Oh, everywhere.
Anyway, the Huntington Keith Albee has a small memorial to the vaudeville actors that helped make it the place it was in the 20s and 30s. Mm-hmm. If you go down to the women's bathroom, and I kind of want to do this, how it goes downstairs.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yes.
Okay. If you go down to the women's bathroom, on the wall is an old picture of the original vaudeville Keith Albee vaudeville troupe. In that picture is Chad W. Forder. Oh. He is the one holding his hand to the side. If you look close, you can see his hand is holding another hand, but the hand is Sophie L. Fluth. She wasn't allowed in the picture because she wasn't as big as an actor as he was, or, an entertainer.
Yeah.
So, but he wanted to hold her hand in it. So she wasn't as famous in Huntington as Chad was, but he wanted to hold her hand in the picture for that. And that was their final performance.
Wow.
Yep.
That's insane.
In Columbus. Okay?
Okay.
That's your second story.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Uh-huh.
Number 3. This one's pretty short.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
On September 6, 1875, Jesse James and the James Gang entered a bank of Huntington. They stormed inside with their revolvers and got away with almost $20,000. In 1875. They almost got $20,000 in 1875. And I actually hate that I didn't do that right
conversion?
now. Do it right now. Yeah, because I need to know what the conversion is on that. So we're just going to let her do that. 1875, Alisa. I don't even think that there was that much money in Huntington in 1875. Is that even a possibility? Scott said there's a plaque in Huntington about this. Because I was telling him about it, and he said there's a plaque.
So $20,000 in 1875 is about $526,000.
Dang. That's a lot of money.
It's a pretty good haul.
Okay. The James Gang ran off to the mountains of Wayne County. The bank president was gone during the robbery, but was back just in time to see the men running off with a whole lot of cash. A posse was organized, and they were in a hot pursuit. They chased the gang through Wayne County, up and over Trout's Hill, into Kentucky, and into Tennessee. You know where Trout's Hill is?
Yeah.
It's the town seat back a long, long time ago, before it was called Wayne. Before this was Wayne, it was Trout's Hill.
Yep.
So they came through here.
Yep.
Let me see where I'm at. One of the men was caught in Tennessee and sentenced to a West Virginia state penitentiary.
Okay.
Another of the outlaw was wounded, and did I put he died? Was wounded in Kentucky and later died of his wounds. Here's the weirdest part. There really isn't any mention of Jesse James again, other than he was at the bank robbery in Huntington. Like, I couldn't find any more information about Jesse James, to the point that I don't even know if he was there or not.
Well, that's what I was, when you were reading that, I was like, I don't ever recall of ever hearing him being around the area.
There's a plaque. Apparently there's a plaque.
I don't know. I may have to see that with my own two eyes.
Well, I'm not showing you. I'm not showing you any pictures. I'm not showing you jack until you tell me just from the stories.
Okay.
However, the two surviving James gang members that are mentioned a lot were Frank James, that's Jesse James's brother, and Cole Younger. It is said that Frank James fell in love with Wayne County and the town seat, Trout's Hill, and later in life moved back. He lived in Wayne County until his death under an alias, Frank Morris. He tended to a farm and made beautiful handmade furniture. And apparently, even though I haven't heard of it myself, people that live in Wayne County close to the Lincoln County line have furniture that was made by Frank James, and they have handed it down from generation to generation.
Okay.
That's all I'm telling you.
Okay.
Okay. So I want you, now you can talk to me. You can ask me questions. You can grill me.
Okay.
Okay. And I may not, I'll say I don't know.
Okay. I feel like the first one was pretty true, because I can remember, like, watching the films, reading about the Mate 1 thing. I don't know about the Frederick. I really think the third one, the last one you did about Jesse James.
Why do you think it's a lie?
I just do.
Okay, what do you
I
all
just
think?
have that feeling. I have that feeling, like, I need to see the plaque.
You need to see the plaque?
And it's just a plaque. It's not really like, I
okay,
mean, I could put a plaque in Wayne.
Don't base your whole thing in
no.
Don't base, because Scott told me that. I've not looked that up, so
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I just think that's, I can't see anybody wanting to live in Wayne County.
I love Wayne. I love it so much. You live here.
I do, but I can't see anybody wanting to, like, especially if you're, like, from Tennessee or wherever.
I don't even know where they were from.
I don't know where they were from either, but I feel like the third story's that's the one that's a little off.
You think the third story?
I do, the third story.
Is that what the people think? Is that what the people think? Are you all yelling?
You all set. We're going to give you just a minute. We're going to just banter and give you a minute to think. I do think that...
Tell me the parts that you think are true then, on the rest of them. And,
okay.
Tell me the parts you think are true.
Okay, I
just want to hear your whole thing.
I think I've heard the story about the Keith Albee, about him, the last stage or whatever. I think I've heard that. I didn't know that the Keith Albee had that many under its umbrella. So that's kind of throwing me too, because I don't know how true that part is.
Yeah.
And with the first story, I feel like that's probably pretty true. I could see the first story being true. I'm pretty confident in the first story being truth. Pretty confident there. What do you guys think? She's going to tell us.
Am I going to tell you now?
You're going to tell us. Or we should just wait and just tell you guys next week.
I'm not going to do them like that.
Be like, tune in next week to find the answer.
The only thing that's true in that Keith Albee story is just about the building. I wrote all of that.
Did you really? That's pretty good.
That's fake as crap.
That's pretty good.
You don't remember jack about Chad and Sophie.
Chad and Sophie.
You don't remember nothing about Chad and Sophie.
I like it.
Okay, and the Easter eggs. Before I tell you anything
the Easter eggs, the only thing I can think of that kind of triggered my mom was when you said Hatfield, like Hatfield McCoy.
No.
That was...
No, you're wrong.
She was like, no, shut up. You're wrong.
Okay, I've got to find it here, so hold on a second. Okay, Chad W. Forter, ChadW Foreter is an anagram for watch for deer. That's mixed up. That's how I came up with his name.
I like it. I like it.
And his girlfriend, Sophie, Sofil Fluth, Fluth, is another anagram for full of shit.
I like it. That's a good one. Yeah. Good job.
The other ones are true. That actually happened.
Really? The Jesse James story is true.
The Jesse James.
Really?
I got that information from the West Virginia Encyclopedia, and it is stated that people, and this is that people in Wayne, that he did come back, allegedly, he came back and moved to almost Lincoln County, but stayed in Wayne County, changed his name to Frank Morris, and that people up on that end of the county state that they still have furniture that Frank James made, Jesse James's brother, and have been passing it down generation.
That's cool as hell.
So
I want to see one of these pieces. So if any of our listeners know anybody that owns a piece of this furniture
that they say that they Frank have, James,
yes, send us a picture. I want to see.
Yeah.
I really, really would love to see that. That's fascinating.
So there's your 2 truths and a lie.
Damn, that was fun.
Was it fun? Did you like it?
Yeah.
I love when you said, I think I remember that Keith Albee story.
You're like, you did not
remember jack crap.
Bullshit.
Yeah. Bullshit. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
Okay, a little fun, fun game.
Fun.
I enjoyed doing that.
That was fun.
I enjoyed writing the Chad and Sophie. Like when I was writing it and he took her hand, like I was like, when he took her hand and she tried to get away and then she pulled away and he pulled out a gun. He's like, for my final performance. And he shot her in the chest.
I could see somebody being so like enraged over something stupid like that.
Sure.
Like because you had protests. I was like, I could see that happening for sure.
The beginning of the Keith Albee, everything that I showed you at the beginning,
the historical part.
The historical part's true. And there was vaudeville actors there and stuff. But Chad and Sophie, watch for deer and full of shit never existed.
Watch for deer and full of shit.
Chad Fortner, Chad L. Fortner, and Chad W. Fortner.
That's hilarious.
And
That's so funny.
Chad W. Forter and Sophie L. Fluth never existed.
I love it. That's fantastic.
There's no picture.
I like it. Well, we hope you guys enjoyed that. We may have to start doing these segments with you, like truth or fiction.
I know. I was hoping you were asking me questions about people, though. Next time you need to ask me questions and see if you can catch me up in a lie.
Catch you in a lie?
Yeah.
Yeah. I do need.
You need to do that.
I needed to be more prepared. I needed pencil and paper.
Yeah.
That's what I needed.
Do.
I needed pencil and paper because there was a couple things I was trying to mentally take notes of.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I remember this. This is true. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, oh, I'm a little sketchy on this. I don't know if this is true.
Yeah.
So I was kind of going back and forth in my mind. Next time, warn me. I need like a piece of paper.
They totally arrested that guy 11 days later. The Sid Hatfield guy.
He blatantly shot.
On his honeymoon. Well, no, he was never accused of it. All the miners said that he did not do that, that the detectives, that the brothers are the ones who shot him. But the other witnesses there said, no, Sid Hatfield, the sheriff, shot him.
Yeah.
But then Jessie, who was married to the mayor, she went up to bat for Sid, and she was like, no, he knew the dangers of it, and he asked Sid to take care of me. I bet he didn't want him taking care of him like taking care of her like he was taking care of her 11 days later.
Yeah, that's not what he meant.
11 days later, no. He was like, make sure she has a little bologna in the fridge.
Yeah, make sure she can pay rent.
Make sure she can pay some rent.
Make sure she needs all she needs, not all she wants.
That's exactly right.
Not all she wants.
Well, anyways, that's my stories. And I'm sticking to it.
I like it. That was fun. We may have to do more fun stories like that.
I did like that.
That was really fun. Yeah. Good job, Sam.
Thank you. Thank you. I tried.
All right. Well, you guys, you know what to do. Go like and follow the Facebook page at Watch for Deer Podcast. Be sure to follow us on TikTok at Watch for Deer Podcast. Email us a story, whether it's truth or a lie.
Email us along.
At watchfordearpodcast@gmail.com. Don't forget to check out our OnlyFans. This is how we are.
No. I totally forgot about that, Alisa. No.
That is how we are trying to fund our production.
No, I forgot you told me you were going to do that Saturday. You dick. Oh, my God. You can't do that.
Y'all be safe.
No, hold on. We need to explain here before they actually think that's true. Alisa, I hate you. My face is red now.
It's very red. You're a little flushed now.
She keeps telling me that she's going to start an OnlyFans.
And the reason
she's
being...
She's going to stick her feet in pudding.
I'm going to dip my toes in pudding, see if anybody wants to buy it.
No, I keep telling her she's not.
Because if I can stick my toes in a little bit of pudding and get some money, I can afford to have someone else produce this podcast, and it takes a load off of me. So...
No, you're not.
That was the plan.
So we're sitting out there Saturday, and she was like, "How do you start an OnlyFans?" I was like, "Will you please stop? Like, just stop." She's like, "I'm gonna direct people to our OnlyFans." I was like, "There is no page, Alisa. Stop it. People are gonna believe that.
There is no."
God, I hate you.
Yeah. But anyway, our OnlyFans is called Antlers and Alibis.
Shut up.
Go
named
subscribe.
You're dumb. You're big dumb. You're big dumb.
But until next week, y'all be safe and watch for deer.